Welcome back to Brent's Hang. I'm Brent Barnett, and we've got some new stands to talk about today, ladies and gentlemen. They're toms and accessory stands. Really cool, make your life a lot easier. They're lightweight. You can hold multiple things on them. Check it out. This is the 6713 SP. It's a single platform tom stand. Or it could be a really, really heavy duty cowbell stand. This open cavern right here is actually where you're supposed to put a ball L-arm, so the L-arm can rotate in multiple directions. The back here is a C-clamp, so you can put an accessory arm such as like a cymbal boom arm or a doodat. Now, it's height adjustable with a height range of about 25 3/4 inches to a maximum height of 40 inches. And this is great for mounting toms. It's very lightweight. It comes with a hinged memory lock, so you can always memorize the height that you have your tom placed at. When you tear it down and then set it back up, it always goes together in the same place. The base has double braced legs for added stability, and it is a total of about 23 inches tall. So I'm using this stand in a one-up, one-down context, which is a great application for it. I added a ball L-arm to it so I could attach my tom, the right ball L-arm for my tom bracket size. I added a cymbal arm to the back clamp of the mount. This is a great thing because I turn it into a combination stand. Rather than having a separate cymbal stand and a separate tom stand, so you got 6 legs on the ground, now I combine it and make it one stand. I'm killing 2 birds with 1 stone. I've got 3 legs on the ground. Now what's great about this is it's very easy to set up and tear down. Because the top mount has a memory lock on it, you can pull the top mount out of the base, collapse it, and throw it in a hardware bag. And it's very simple. It's memorized to exactly how high you need it, the placement of where the tom goes. This is actually what I use in my personal setup, and it's amazing. So we have the 6713 DP. This is a double platform tom stand. It's a double tom stand. Or a heavy-duty double cowbell stand. It's got 2 sockets, one on each side. These are for the ball L-arms to mount your rack toms to. And it's got a C-clamp on the back so that you can actually mount a boom arm to. The height range is from a minimum of 25 3/4 inches to a maximum of 40 inches. The memory lock on the downstem allows you to memorize the position of the height that your tom stand sits at. And the base is 23 inches tall, and it's double braced for added stability. So I have the double tom stand set up in an offset configuration holding the 10 and 12 inch tom. Now, the reason that I chose to offset it was because I remember one time I was talking to a friend of mine who was much older than me, and I was bored out of my mind about my playing. I hated everything that I did, and he said, change your setup. Move it around. You'll figure out some different ways of approaching the kit. So I just took my toms and I slid them over about 6 inches. So it came up with the offset. Plus it got my ride cymbal right in front of me, but I still had access to both toms. Pretty cool. And so what I did was I just added 2 L-arms that fit my drums, and I added them to the stand. Now I also used the back clamp, as you can see, to mount a cymbal boom. So once again, I'm utilizing this thing as 2-in-1. I've got a cymbal mounted directly to the tom stand. I got a combo stand. It tears down very easily because it's got a memory lock on the tube. You pull it apart, it's memorized, you put it back together. Wham bam, thank you ma'am. This is the 6713 QP. It's the quad platform stand. It's a double tom stand with 2 additional clamps. Yes, I know you're all asking, you can mount 4 cowbells to this. It's got 2 empty sockets, one on each side. This is for the ball L-arm. And it's got 2 C-clamps in the back, so you can mount 2 boom arms. It has a height adjustment memory lock that memorizes the height and positioning of the mount, a 23-inch tall base, and a double leg braced system. It's got the same height range as the other 2 stands, 25 3/4 inch at the minimum and 40 inch at the max. I know by now you guys have to be thinking I'm lazy or something because I added another cymbal arm to one stand. I mean, why couldn't if he just added another cymbal stand? What, is he too freaking lazy to go set up another cymbal stand? No, well, maybe, but I like to have everything on one stand. Like the less you have to set up, the better, right? This stand, this quad stand, is great to mount 2 cymbals and 2 toms to one stand. I got 2 L arms that fit perfectly for my drums. I got 2 boom arms to mount in the back clamps. And once again, it tears down and sets up very easily because of the memory lock. This setup is for those of you who like to play 3 rack toms right over your bass drum. And it's kind of a little for me too. What can you say? I have to have a little fun here and there. I took the 8, 10, and 12, and not in that particular order. Yes, I know. I put the 8 in a very unconventional spot. Don't judge. But maybe you should try this at home. It might spark some crazy ideas. Maybe you play a fill and your buddy goes, "How the hell did you play that?" And you could say, "Well, I did this complex patafla-fla with the flamma-schmera-diddle, and that's what I came up with." But I used this configuration with 2 tom stands, as you guys have already seen. I've got the single mount tom stand and the quad mount tom stand, 2 crash cymbals, and then a crash cymbal over here. This is all on 2 stands, ladies and gentlemen. Here's an example of an L-arm that will work with all 3 of these tom stands. It has a 1.5-inch diameter ball joint, and this one actually has a 10.5 millimeter post, but we also offer it in 12.7 and 9.5, as well as hex-shaped. So the Brent drum set you play will determine what size L-arm you need. This is the 6713 EA. It's an electronic module stand. And this is great for adding electronics to your setup. For instance, if you have an SPD-20, an SPD-30, an SPD-S, you can set this alongside your kit and it'll support your module. Also, if you have an electronic drum set and you need a place to put your brain, this will hold the brain. Now the upper portion has a C-clamp that will fit the mounting post of the module. The C-clamp rotates 360 degrees for optimal positioning of the module. The minimum height that the stand will go to is 25.5 inches. The maximum height the stand will go to is 37.25 inches. So for those of you that want to stand up and play and you're not just a giant, a behemoth of a person, this stand can be played standing up. Okay, so I have a way that you can attach a cowbell to this thing. Just call me. So here is the 6713 EA stand, electronic mounting stand, in action. This is a great stand to have at your side when you're playing, because now everybody's using electronics when they play. They need that cowbell, they need that jam block, they need that tambourine sound, they need to be able to switch through like 50 different sounds. A musician's got to work pretty hard these days now to work. So, and it also allows me to adjust the height to whatever height is feel comfortable for me. I mean, this is a really great stand. I like it. This stand was designed for you players that like to use a snare stand to mount your rack tom instead of a normal tom stand. But you also want the traditional flat bass look to it as well. This is in our flat-based family, all the 8700 series. Now what's different about this stand is it has 2 key features, adjustability and height range. Let's talk about adjustability. It has an ultra-adjust ball joint so you can position the snare basket in unlimited angles. It has a knurled steel adjustment knob as opposed to a plastic wing nut that'll help you get better traction and better grip on your tom. Now the height range for this stand is a 23.25 inch minimum and a 34 inch maximum. Now that's measured from the ground to where the actual bottom hoop sits on the gripper. Now in the leg brace system, there is a height adjustment lock that prevents the legs from slipping once the toms are added. Well, that's all the time for today's show. Thanks for watching, you guys. I just showed you guys 4 different heavy-duty cowbell stands and 1 flat bass stand that I'm still trying to figure out how to work with that. Yeah. If you guys have any ideas, leave a comment. See you next time.